Well, howdy there. Didn't see ya. May have bought another piece of crap. This is a 1983 240D. Uh, that's honestly the extent of how much I know about it. It's crashed. It doesn't run. It's completely junk. All right, guys. So, like I said, this is a 1983 240D. 83 was the last year for the 240. She got the black with the green hubcaps and a little touch of red on the valve stem. Very nice. It's also got these mud flaps all the way around. Those are pretty ugly. Big old dent right there. The paint. She's a different shade on the trunk. Of course, you got the self tappers holding this piece of trim on the bumper. Surprisingly enough, this thing's actually very solid. No rust to speak of. Very solid car. She got the old muffler delete kit. Rare option. So, yeah, she got, the paint is just minty on it. Another green hubcap. Again, very, very clean, no rust. Bam! Right there on the hood. Missing the grill. Looks like they hit something. Maybe right there. I don't know. Crumple the hood, crumple the fender just right here. Doesn't look like the fender. I mean, it's not all pushed back or nothing. So I'm hoping the damage is just right here. Down here is all straight still. Big old scratch on the bumper right there. We got a connector. That's probably for the headlight or the turn signal. I mean, broke right off. She got the fancy LEDs, so that it's fancy. Yeah, no damage down here really. Pretty minty. Oh yeah, she got the red accent look, if you can't tell. Put on a red, oil cap. Gotta make the transmission dipstick also red. Oh, and the brake fluid and the fuse box red. Little splatter. Oh, a little splatter action on the air filter housing. That's custom. Got the rag holder, zip tie action. Oh, can't forget about power steering and the dipstick. So yeah, she's probably high performance. Can't tell if you can't tell, the red shows it. But yeah, she's a 4-cylinder variety. No turbo on this sucker. She's got 75 horsepower. That's a very shiny power steering cap and power steering pump. So that's cool. Here's the course port. This is the part I was kind of worried about. It might be knocked back a little bit, but it's not crazy. It's kind of like twisted down. So I'm hoping this is alright. I mean, it's pretty flat right here. It's just this part right here is kind of a little banged up, but the rest of it, minty. She got the custom cap there. She got oil up to the full, or just below the full. Nice and black. Other than that, it's looking pretty oily on that valve cover gasket. Yeah, she got the yellow zip ties. She minty. Like I said, guys, I know nothing about this car. It seems like it's been sitting a while just because how many trash and leaves are kind of caked up on all the windscreen and stuff. How's our glow plugs looking? She got the glow plug delete kit on that one, but the rest of them seem like they're hooked up. Yep. Looks like the wire's broken on that cylinder. She got the old, yep. Fuses are blown up. This thing's filthy. It's got the relays. I did already notice that this thing did not come with the battery. They must have stole that before they sent it off to auction. Look at all that crap in there in the drains. That's how you rust out your fenders, folks. I'd be lying if I said this was light. Fit, bitch. Alright. Ground. Positive. Nothing's on fire yet. So that's cool. This is the old interior. She actually ain't too bad compared to the 3RSD. It smells like mold in here. Yeah. So she got the cherry-ons. These are a little stiff. Oh, someone broke our vent. Return it. Nothing in there. Alright, so let's see if anything does anything. We got a light. I'm gonna put you guys outside. No oil pressure showing on the gauge. Oh, there it goes. I think this project will have to wait till another day. I just really just wanted to see if this thing will actually come down, or at least try to start. So yeah, I'm gonna unplug this battery and move this up to the house because there's no tools down here. So see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, we got it off the trailer. My first time seeing it on the ground here, but we're gonna start working on it, see if we can get this thing running again. I'm gonna start by popping off that fuel filter and letting the diesel drain out, and I'm gonna see if I have a new filter, but if not, I'm gonna pop that one off and just drain it if I don't, because I don't have one. I already took out the battery, get that thing charging again, so we can do some more testing. But what I'm gonna do is take off these fuel lines, the main ones here, and off all these return hoses. I'm gonna take out the injectors and let's do a compression test. I know you're supposed to do a compression test when it's hot, but I want to get kind of a base number of what we're looking at. While these lines are off, I'm also going to take all the glow plugs out and check them, make sure they're all working. I do have a good used glow plug harness ready. This guy goes down here, this whole line here. I already have a good used one since we already know one of the wires are broken, so we're gonna do that. Also have new glow plugs, I'll put those in, might as well. And basically what we're gonna do is we did it on that car, which was compressor test, and we replaced the glow plugs. That got that one running, so hopefully that does the same thing with this one. But I think this fuel is bad or something's wrong with it. As you can see, it's very brown. Diesel doesn't look like that typically. So yeah, we're gonna do that and see if she runs, and you know, find out the health of this engine, or maybe get an idea of it. All right guys, just pulled out this fuel filter. I'm just looking at how yellow this fuel looks. It doesn't quite smell like diesel fuel. I don't know, give me guys what your opinions on this are. It smells like it smells like diesel a little bit, and then there's some kind of stale smell to it. So I don't know if it's just old fuel and that's what diesel fuel turns into. It's more of a yellow color, but also look at the state of that filter in there. Very disgusting, has a lot of crap and stuff. So I don't know, give you guys your opinion on this. Yeah, I don't know if it's gasoline mixed in or kind of smells like gasoline, but I don't know. All right, hey guys, I think I'm gonna move the car down to the shop. It's starting to rain here pretty bad. It's supposed to rain for like the next 3 days, so I'm hoping I can get this moved around down to here. It's all downhill, so hopefully I don't die, but if I do, I'll be on video. Well, I got to this point. I just need it goes uphill a little bit up to here, so hopefully I can mustard it up here. We'll see. Well, let's see how this works. I attached this little handheld winch from the front of that to the front of the 500 SEO. Let's see if it'll work. Alright guys, use my little handheld Warren winch. There's the deets on it. Pretty useful for a little something like that. Got her in the front of the garage here so I can actually start working on it. I recorded that whole thing, but I basically just chained up to the front of this 500 SEO to just the toe hook on the front of this, and that thing worked pretty good. I just used my walkie drill, and just like that, got it here. This is my driveway here is just a little bit sloped that way, so I can't really push it towards the garage with just myself. So that came in very helpful there. So definitely recommend if you have if you're constantly moving stuff into your garage or whatever. It's pretty helpful. So I think I'm gonna start working on this tomorrow. I'm just gonna kind of get a game plan of what I'm gonna be doing. I do have some parts for it, like I said, but it's getting dark and I have no lights or anything out here, so yeah, all that fuel was coming out of the fuel line. I disconnected, which I thought anyways, but I still have to jack up the rear of the car and take the fuel line off the bottom of the tank to fully drain the fuel out of it. I did some research, and that actually is probably going to be biodiesel, which is mostly sold here in Oregon. So usually the yellowish diesel is biodiesel, so someone is putting biodiesel in this. I don't know if they're great. I did some research, and apparently it's fine with putting in old injection diesels like this, but never into a modern diesel, because it'll chew up your injection system. So just a little food for thought there. I think it's biodiesel they put in this. That's why it smells weird, and that's why it's colored weird. I'm still gonna drain it. I don't like the idea of putting biodiesel in my diesel. So I'm gonna still go ahead and drain it. I got some fresh diesel I can splash into it. I got the battery recharging, but like I said, I'm gonna knock those injector lines off, the return lines, do a compression test, see what we're looking like there, and go forward with that. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow morning. Alright guys, time to do a compression test. I got it hooked up to the #1 cylinder in the front here. We're gonna look at this gauge and make sure it is above 300 preferably. So yeah, we'll see. I just hooked up the battery. Let's see if it'll crank. the same. 50-ish PSI. That's not good. Ish. Turned 110 or something like that. Not great. Hundred, 110, same. And number 4. Lucky number 4. It is the highest one. You got like 150, 160 maybe. Alright guys, well, we're not looking very good on the compression. We got 50 in the front one, 110, 110, then 170, 160 in that one. If you guys remember on the 300 SD, I still got these numbers written from that compression test. And at least these were in like the low 200s. So, I mean, that's decent. But this one has like half that. So, I don't know if maybe the valve adjustment will maybe help those numbers a little bit. So, I think what I'm going to do is pull the valve cover off and have a look at the cam and the valves and stuff and check what they're looking like. So yeah. Alright guys, pop the valve cover off. Time chain looks nice and tight still. It's not all wobbly or anything. So that's looking pretty good. A couple of these cam lobes are a little bit dark. Especially this one right here. But overall, I don't see anything super scary so far. I'm just looking at all the springs. I don't see any obviously broken stuff in here. Looking for, cracked springs or something, but I'm not really seeing anything super crazy. So I'm gonna look at the procedure of doing a valve adjustment on this, and I've never done one on a 240 before, so I don't know if it's different or whatever, but I'm going to do this valve adjustment. I'm also gonna keep on inspecting the whole valve train here and making sure everything's looking looking okay. I can definitely tell that valve cover has not been off in a long time, so I'm hoping that these valves are just way out of adjustment, and once we get these adjusted right, it'll hopefully boost our compression up. But yeah, we'll see. I went ahead and did a valve adjustment on all the valves. Some of them were good, some of them were tight, some of them were loose. I think maybe like 3 of the intake were a little tight, and there was one exhaust that was a little too big. So I got them all adjusted. I did all the intake on 10,000ths and the exhaust at 30,000ths, which is what the little sticker right here says. Below 30 Celsius, 10 millimeter or 0.10 millimeter and 0.3 millimeter exhaust. So yeah, I put a little chart on the screen of what order these are in. It's a 5-cylinder and the 4-cylinder, a little bit different, but again, I was kind of disappointed. I didn't really see anything wild, like all the valves are too tight or something. I've already got the new glow plugs in. I noticed that my good used harness is not the correct version. This one, they just have different plugs and stuff in different places and whatever. So, you know, you got this big old plug on this one with 8 prongs. And then my original one has this 3-prong one. So yeah, the plugs are just different. I'm not sure if one of these harnesses is from an older car or newer car. I'm not sure. So I also noticed on my original harness, of course, you got, you know, the broken one without a terminal on it, but also this one on number 1 cylinder, it's worn through and there's copper showing, so that's probably grounding out on that. So I might have to do some repairs on this harness to get it to work. Maybe cutting this back and trying putting the terminal back on there. I'm not quite sure. I don't have any of these type of terminals on hand. I might have to buy a kit or something, but they're just, you know, normal. I think there's like crimp-on types. So yeah, we'll see. I'm probably have to just repair my old one here, get that to work, because the other one's just completely different and wrong. But I do have the new glow plugs in. They're ready to go, tighten down and stuff. So yeah, I think for now I'm gonna order some new parts. I'd hate to put a bunch of money into an engine that's bad, like I said. So alright guys, so I got all the parts I need for the front end here. I got driver's side headlight assembly, driver's side turn signal, and I have a driver's side, a passenger side, and another passenger side headlight assembly. So I got a full front set except for the turn signal, which I don't need, because I'm gonna swap out something painted this black. I'm gonna turn that just back to the normal, whatever it looks like before. I hate the LEDs, so I'm just gonna swap out the whole assembly. I think I am gonna swap out, I don't know, we'll see. I might just swap in the headlight, or because I like the embers. These over here have just a clear, so I don't know. I'll make a decision of what I want to do, since I think the amber light on the old is good still, but I haven't looked at it. But yeah, we'll see. Alright guys, just doing a little bit of body work. I think I'll be able to get this to fit in pretty good. So I don't think it'll be a problem. I mostly just had to straighten this little piece out here. I still have to knock this up a little more, but and then pull back on this, make it a little bit more flat. It's pretty thin metal, so it's pretty easy to manipulate. I know these are not professional body tactics here, but I'm just trying to make it so this thing's actually usable. Eyeballs back in. This is very ugly, but I mean, seems like this top needs to come this way a little bit. Or it's just how it is. And this doesn't really fit up the best right here. But the actual like headlight and stuff bolted in pretty easy. I was looking at like the gaps and stuff from over there, and they look pretty much similar. But yeah, it looks so much better. So I think I'm also going to take apart that side and make it so each side looks the same, and I think it'll be a lot less ugly. And there we go, guys. The front end is now all back together. It's looking pretty good. Got all the wiring all hooked up. I got done cleaning out the drains on this side and along the top here. I still got to do that side, and I got to just clean up the rest of the drains on that side. So, but I'm gonna call it for today. I'll catch you guys back up when I have some parts in. Probably won't be till later next week. Alright guys, it is the next day. I figured I'd just dig into the interior and start cleaning it out. At first I removed the weird looking partial tray. They had some speakers or something built into that, so I took out all the wood, the jank ass wood they had built up there. I did notice that the rear gasket on the windshield is completely gone. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that it is. And they try to use some glue or whatever on the top to make a seal, but you ain't gonna seal that big old gap. But I decided to take the rear seat off. They had a bunch of wiring for the speakers. I ran over here and ran over here. So I'm just cutting all that out, just getting rid of it. And man, this is probably the grossest car I've ever had. Just the interior is so nasty. Just look at all this trash in here. It smells so bad. So right now I'm taking the rear seat off. See if I can get that off. I haven't looked in the trunk yet, so let's do that real quick. I haven't looked. Alright, so here's our keys. This one should be the trunk. It's locked for some reason. Oh, there we go. Well, there's our muffler. I was looking where that was. Looks like we got an original jack. Part of the ashtray. We got a belt. This looks like a vacuum canister. Interesting. Got some trash, squeegee or something. Just a bunch of random shit. Part of a shovel. Over here, got some quarters. Some bungee cord. Got some water. It's definitely coming from the rear windshield. This is not original cover, I think. I'll get this stuff out of here. Let's see if we have a spare. Yeah, it does have a spare in it, so that's cool. But not much else, looks like. I don't think this is the original Mercedes. Doesn't even look like it fits this. So, gotta clean all these drains out for the trunk. Hopefully, I might just cover that up just temporarily, and that's not gonna do that much. There's also a big old hole right there. So, definitely that gasket needs to be redone. It's just cooked everywhere. It's letting most of the water inside. Also, I think the sunroof drains are clogged. They usually get clogged up here, and there's some drains that fall all the way back here to this area, which is a bunch of stuff in there too. So that's gonna be a process to get all those done. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on cleaning and see what you find. Alright guys, I got pretty much the back half of the interior stripped. I got all the extra wires they installed kind of cut right here, so everything back should be all factory stuff. There's all the wire I pulled out. I stripped the trunk of everything. It's ready to be vacuumed. So definitely cleaner. This insulation that goes behind the rear seats absolutely stinks. So I don't know if I'm gonna put that thing back in. But yeah, all this stuff is going in the trash. I don't know if I'm gonna... I'll probably keep the muffler for now. Obviously put the spare tire and stuff back in. I do have a rear carpet for the trunk that I took from another parts car, so I'd have that so I can get rid of that mat. But yeah, but everything else is all vacuum stuff on the side. There's all the wires I cut right there. All that's not factory. It's got to vacuum all this stuff up. And she should be ready to go as far as back here. So I'm gonna get kind of cleaning up and putting everything back together. Alright guys, it's been a minute. We got some carnage going on. Took out the old radio. That thing is an absolute rat nest of wiring. But also ripped out all the carpets. But yeah, deleted the radio. The ashtray is broken already, so that was deleted too. I removed that side and that kick panel to get all the speaker wiring. Just delete it all. Let's just start over. So I think all the wiring for the sound system is deleted. I got all the wiring from this side. Back seat, took all the carpet out here. Trying to get that nasty smell out. Just to give you guys an idea of what it smells like. It smells like McDonald's and mold. That's what it smells like to me. So, but yeah, everything's all getting cleaned up. Massive pools of water down here where the carpets were sitting. So definitely some seals are gone. Definitely these rear seals on the doors are just big old chunk missing right there, you know. And of course the rear windshield is probably the worst of them. So I'm gonna have to get some door seals, that seal, and the windscreen seal replaced, and clean out the drains for the sunroof, so we fix all the leaks. But yeah, she's rough. So that's all going to the trash. Clean off the seats and stuff. I might just go ahead and see if I can find another set of floor mats, carpeting, possibly this carpeting that goes across here. It's just all really nasty. So that's what's on the to-do. Still waiting on parts to come to finish up the engine. I also did order a hood release for that. I need a striker for this door, does not like to stay open. As you guys see, it's just broke off right there. So I don't even know how that happens. Also on this door, the window crank is missing and somebody destroyed that. So gonna need a regulator. Yeah, stuff is going along. Next up, I'm just gonna clean up my mess here. It's kind of messy, but I'm gonna clean up my mess and jack up the rear of the car. It's supposed to be raining for the next like 3 or 4 days, so I'm hoping I can get this job done, draining the whole tank of that nasty fuel. I did look inside this cap. This thing is really a bugger to get off, but she's got some rust in there, unfortunately. So I'm hoping the tank is good. We'll see what comes out of it. Might have made a little mess. All that's dripping out of the main feed when I jacked up the car. But we are now draining fuel out of the bottom of the tank. You just pop this one line off right here next to the axle. And we're slowly filling up this bucket. So slowly but surely, I think we'll get her done. I'm not sure how full this tank is. Hopefully it's not super full. Hopefully it's not fuller than 5 gallons. So we'll see. Catch you guys back when we're done. I got the I got the glow plug harness back installed, all hooked up and everything. I fixed the broken connector on that side. I just crimped a new connector on it, and also this one down here had a little hole in the sheathing, so I put some new sheathing on that, so hopefully it won't. And I made sure the whole harness isn't touching anywhere where it could rub through again, so I'm hoping that will fix that. So we're looking pretty good. Glow plugs are back in. Today I finally should be able to be getting my parts. I think I ordered it like mid last week, and now it's Thursday, so in the following week, and my parts are supposed to be here today. So hopefully I can get my injectors back in, get my fuel lines back on, and we start bleeding the fuel system. I also have a new filter coming. I have this new return hose for this. This guy's leaking, and also I already have the return hoses for the injectors, but the injectors are rebuilt, so can install those, and yeah, hopefully by the next time you see us, we'll be here installing new parts. Very nice. All right, guys, finally got some injectors. Got 4 of them. I got a new hood release handle. Actually pretty nice quality. I think I spent like 10 bucks on this thing. So made in Germany. It's metal. I like that. Also got a bunch of vacuum hose, and that's for the fuel filter bolts and a new fuel filter. So first things first, we're gonna install these injectors. Get them all torqued down, get all the return lines put back on, change this filter out, and then put our fuel lines back on, and let's bleed the system. And yeah. Alright guys, a little update on the 240. All the injectors are on, all the return lines are on, all the fuel lines are on. I'm trying to bleed the air out of here, and that plunger is not working. Even cranking the car, I'm not getting fuel in the fuel filter. I did put fuel in it, if you're wondering. I put about 5 gallons of diesel in it, and as many times as I press on that plunger, that thing is not pumping. So I wonder if the problem all along was not the injectors or the glow plugs. We were not getting fuel. That lift pump might be bad. And of course, it is like December 23rd, or no, it's the 22nd, and parts right now are not available. Where I'm just gonna have to wait. It's gonna be a couple weeks till I get parts. So since it's Christmas and New Year's and all that, people are taking time off, which is perfectly fine. I just want to see if this thing runs. I am crossing my fingers that hopefully the only issue with this is that lift pump is bad, or the plunger or something. This thing is not pulling fuel from the tank. I know the lines are not clogged. We have free flowage all the way to the front here. It's just not pumping fuel. So I'm hoping the fuel pump is just bad O-ring or something. That's why it's not running. So to remedy that problem, I have this lift pump right here. This is the one out of the 300 SD. That car right there. That's a car that you guys saw in my last couple of videos on it over the summer. I did a revive on it, and the engine blew up. So I knew that that engine does run. So I'm hoping this lift pump is good. So while I'm waiting on rebuild parts for this lift pump, I'm gonna put that one on and just put the rebuilt one back on that 300 SD. That car is not going on the road anytime soon. Still looking for a parts car for it. So, or a good engine, good used engine. So I'm gonna swap this lift pump with that one. I know that one works. So take this one out. To remove the lift pump, there's 3 10mm bolts holding it onto the side of the injection pump, and then you have the 2 fuel lines, this one and the actual one from the filter right there. Pretty easy to get out and in. There is oil on the other side of it, so you need a gasket. I do not have a gasket, so I'm hoping that'll somewhat seal. Just for now, I have some gaskets coming. I just want this. I want to hear this engine run. I can't wait any longer. It's been too long. So, gonna take this injection pump off, or not the injection pump, the lift pump off, and swap it with that one. So yeah, let's do that. Alright guys, got the new used pump down there. I literally pumped that button, the primer, like 3 or 4 times, and already filled that fuel filter. So I also did crack this one. We got fuel up here. So now I'm hoping that we'll see fuel up here at our injectors. I noticed that this one, you can press on this little button here, and it actually, like, you know, what is actually pumping, the fuel pump, and it wasn't as hard as a push as the other one that I had off the 300 SD. So I'm hoping there's something wrong with this pump where it has like O-rings or diaphragms or something is bad in there that is letting it from actually creating enough pressure to push fuel into the system. So I'm hoping that this one is just bad. Like literally, I just pressed on that one 3 or 4 times, and we already have fuel. Like it's so much better, and already I can already see that thing was actually bad. So that's probably the reason why it wasn't originally running in the first place. We probably didn't have to change any of the glow plugs or mess with anything other than the fuel pump. So I'm getting excited, guys. Hopefully this thing runs. I've had this thing for weeks at this point. Not sure if this thing actually runs or not. I'm gonna stab a battery in it and see if we can get all the air out of this fuel system. All right, guys, this is all for the kahunas. Going for it. Ran not very well, but it did. All right, guys, she runs, she moves. I did test if the transmission works, and it does. There's just absolutely no brakes though, so I don't know about driving it right now. It runs okay, I guess. It smokes quite a lot of blue smoke. There's a lot of blow by, but we kind of expected that with the amount of compression this thing has. I'm hoping that running it will increase the compression and, you know, in turn help some of the blow by. So maybe by running it, letting it heat soak for a while, it'll maybe bring the rings around. I don't know how many miles this thing has. The odometer says 130,000, but since this car is in the shape that it is, I highly doubt that. That gauge cluster is probably out of a different car or something. So I don't trust that. I'm guessing it probably has around 250 to 300,000 miles, I'm gonna guess. The car is very rust free, which is why I'm, you know, taking to this point. The car is very rust free. A lot of these are rusted out, especially in the Pacific Northwest is where I'm at. Especially in the East, they're all gone. You know, they're just rusted. The floorboards are gone. This car is very solid. I don't think I've seen a car this rust free except for one that I had. But very rust free. Absolutely no rust in the floors, no rust in the doors, no rust in the rockers or quarter panels or anything. It's a very rust free car. It's very nice. But everything else is broken. Like everything needs to be touched on this thing. The whole front suspension worn out, all the bushings, all the ball joints, they're all toast. I looked at when the car was jacked up, I was looking at the rear end. The rear end is leaking. So who knows how much, you know, how much fluid's in that thing. Looks like they replaced one CV axle, or the boots at least, on the one side. I don't know why they didn't do the other side. But the boots are leaking on one side. Interior, like I said, is disgusting. Dash cracked. No radio. No ashtray. No nothing. The blower motor does work, so that's one thing that works. The antenna does not work. The vacuum system needs fixed. Like I broke some of the vacuum fittings down here while I was working on the car. So, and he's one of these booster lines. This guy right here. It's like $80 part. But it does run, it does move. The transmission works, at least in reverse. Who knows about any other gears? At least again, the blow by is pretty bad. So the engine would definitely have to be rebuilt at some point. Let's see what else. All the seals need to be done, especially the rear windshield and the front windshield need to be fixed. The seals need to be replaced. At least the water in the car, it's pretty nasty. The hood is, you know, bent right there. So I mean, there's definitely been worse, but there's definitely been better for cheaper. So is this at a point where, do I want to spend the money and fix this thing, make it roadable again, or do I spend my money on a different car that's, you know, has some more life into it? So I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you should fix it, you should fix it. They don't make these anymore. They don't. That's why I like this car. This car is actually pretty cool. It's black with Palomino for $240. Unluckily, it's not a manual. If it was a manual transmission, that'd be way cooler in my opinion. So who knows, maybe I'd grab a parts car for this, a manual, put a manual transmission in it, rebuild the engine, replace the engine, I don't know, something. But again, we're at that point where it's just better it's easier to get another car that's better with lower miles and more taken care of. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think of what I should do in the comments. Again, very rusty car, runs, moves, does not stop. So alright guys, that'll be it for me. Stay part for part 2. There'll definitely be part 2 on this thing. I do want to get the brakes working, get the interior all back together, and actually road test it, fix more stuff on it. So that'll be it. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see y'all next time.